building muscle and training like an athlete can be really hard for some people, because nowadays everyone on the internet says you shouldn't build muscle if you're an athlete. So let me break down each step of how to train at the gym as an athlete, and then how to structure your workout so that you get more explosive, get faster, increase your speed, but also look better, feel better, and overall just be a better looking athlete. To start off, like let's say you've never ever visited a gym in your life, I would recommend you first to get your body right, to get your body straight. What I mean by that is, if you're like overweight, if you're 120 kilos, you probably shouldn't start doing plyometrics, or you shouldn't focus on building, being more explosive, because it will just do you more harm than good. Your main focus now should be to get leaner, lose some weight, and be in better shape before you actually start doing whatever type of athletic training you're going to do. And vice versa, if you're too skinny, like let's say you're 30 kilos, but you want to improve your strength, you probably should gain some mass first before you actually consider becoming the machine you want to become. So the easiest way to do both of these, let's say you're overweight. If you're overweight, the easiest way to lose weight is be on caloric deficit, drink more water, move more, cut all the shitty crappy food that just is bad for you. I mean sugar, all the chips you're eating, all the junk food you're eating, just cut that off. Be on a caloric deficit, move more, at least 10,000 steps a day, drink more water, and you'll be set. And vice versa, if you're too skinny, get on a caloric surplus, so that, if you're too skinny, this should be, caloric deficit, and if you're too skinny, you should get on a caloric surplus. So here's exactly the opposite. You should eat more. I'm not saying you should move less. You should always be in shape, be in form. You should always move and train, but you should eat more. You should drink more. You should consume more calories than you burn. And if you're trying to lose weight, it should be the opposite. You should burn more calories than you consume, and that's literally the only way. I don't care about no keto diet. I don't care about no red meat diet. It all comes down to calories. If your calorie intake isn't how it should be, then don't expect any type of results in both of these. Just forget about results if you don't get this right. The second step now is to start structuring your workouts as you should be structuring them. Start structuring them properly. So until this point, you've probably done some hypertrophy work here and there, some power work here and there, some strength work, some cardio, but now you need to start understanding why you're doing a certain exercise, when to do a certain exercise, and when are you going to do a certain exercise. So let's break it down. There are 3 main types of exercises, and you need to understand the difference between all 3 types of exercises. So the first one is power and speed, the second one is strength, and the third one is hypertrophy. So each type of exercise focuses on different things and should be done at a different time of your workout with a different in a different sets and reps ratio. So the first one is, of course, power. Power and speed exercises require the maximum amount of effort out of your body and out of your muscle, and should be done for low amounts of reps. Anywhere between 3 to 5 reps is optimal for doing a power and speed exercise, because past this point, past 5, your body's starting to get fatigued, and you'll be getting only 60 to 70% out of the exercise in comparison to the 100% you get if you do 3 to 5 exercises, 3 to 5 reps. So doing power and speed exercises shouldn't fatigue your muscles, shouldn't fatigue your body. So let's, for example, take a plyometric exercise which focuses on speed and explosiveness. If you take a box jump and we do 10 to 50 reps of a box jump, then it becomes a hypertrophy exercise because your body starts to break muscle tissue. So now really you're just starting to build muscle. But our main goal wasn't even to build muscle, it was to get more explosive. So 3 to 5 reps is what you should aim for and what your goal should ultimately be. Because as I said, 3 to 5 reps will be getting you 100% of what you're actually trying to achieve. Past that point, your body starts to get fatigued, you start to get tired. So now you just putting more work in for less results, which doesn't make any sense. So get that right. Second type of exercises are the strength exercises. Strength exercises are the ones which you cannot do for more than 3 reps. 1 to 3 reps is what you should aim for, because the main focus of this exercise is to build your strength. So we need to get as close to our 1 rep max. You know, we need to get as close to our 1 rep max as we can. So let's say your maximum bench press is, let's say 100 kg. You should aim for anywhere between 80 to 100 or 95 kg if you want to build strength. If your goal is to build power and explosiveness, you should put down the weight, you know, around 50-60 kg, around 50% of that, and do it for 3 to 5 reps. But if you get it as close as you can to your 1 rep max and do 1 to 3 reps, this is how you build strength. And these should be the heaviest out of all of the 3 types. Out of power, strength, and hypertrophy, these should be the heaviest. And the third one is hypertrophy. So what are hypertrophy exercises? Hypertrophy exercises are the ones that focus on rebuilding muscle tissues. That means your body starts to rebuild muscle tissue, which ultimately gets you more mass and more, you know, bigger muscles. This is how you build muscle. So these exercises should be done anywhere, I would say, you know, 10 or 12, let's say 12 to 15 reps. The weight should be relatively light. So the main point of a hypertrophy exercise is to do as many reps as you can with a slight of, not light, but a weight which allows you to do 10 to 15 reps. If you can do more than 15, then it's a little bit counterproductive. So you should aim for 10 to 15 reps or even 12. Yeah, let's say 12 to 15 reps. These are the most fatiguing and the most exhausting out of all 3 types, because you're doing more reps, you're breaking muscle tissue, so now you can move explosive and you cannot lift heavy. So this is what hypertrophy exercises are. So now that we know all 3 types, how do we actually structure them so that we get the most out of every single session in regards of power, strength, and hypertrophy or building muscle? If we think logically here, the most exhausting ones out of 3 of them are, of course, hypertrophy exercises, because as I said, you're doing a lot of reps, you're breaking muscle tissue, so they are the most exhausting. So if you just think logically, they should be last. This isn't even some type of crazy scientific proof, you just need to think logically about this. If you start off with your hypertrophy exercises, if you do them first, how are you then going to move at 100%? You're going to improve your power when you're already fatigued. You'll be moving at like 50-60% and you will get no results. So hypertrophy always lasts. I'm not saying hypertrophy is useless, never said that. I'm just saying that it's the least important out of the 3 if you're an athlete who's trying to get faster, stronger, but also build muscle, because building muscle always comes last. So now we're left with strength and power. Again, if we think logically here, power exercises require the most amount of energy and the most amount of focus. So you need to perform at 100% every single rep. So putting the first makes the most amount of sense basically. And they are also least fatiguing. So you're moving at 100% for 3 to 5 reps and you shouldn't feel fatigued. This is the main point. You're always moving at 100% trying to, or anywhere between 90 to 100% trying to improve your power and explosiveness, trying to move as fast as possible. So they always come first. And then we're left with strength, which is always done second, because it doesn't require much energy. You're doing 1 to 3 reps. Yes, it requires a lot of strength. That's why you're doing them second, because you're trying to build up strength. So they require a lot of strength, but they do not require 100% of your muscles basically. Even if you're exhausted, you can a little bit exhausted out of your power exercise, you can still do strength. But if you start off with hypertrophy, you won't be able to do none of them, because you'll already be tired, your muscles will be fatigued, you feel like a little bit of, pain in the muscles. You feel like your muscles are already exhausted and you're just done, you can't do more. That's why you always do them at the end, because if you get to the point where you just can't do anymore, your workout is just done. But if you start with them and then you're already completely exhausted and you can't do anymore, how are you going to train your power? And how are you going to train strength when you just basically can't move it? So let's recap real quick. First and foremost, you should start by getting your body physique right. So if you're overweight, lose some weight. If you're overweight, lose some weight. If you're too skinny, put some weight. Don't overcomplicate it. Stick to it. Stick to a plan. Stick to a training plan, a diet plan, whatever it is. And as I said, water, calories, movement. This is literally everything you need. Then we need to understand. Then we talked about the 3 types of exercises. I'm not going to do all of that again, but essentially this is how it should be structured: power, strength, hypertrophy. Again, if you think logically, it only makes sense to do hypertrophy last, power first, strength second, because as I said many times, power requires the most amount of energy. Hypertrophy requires the least amount of energy, but it's the most fatiguing. So that's why we do it at the end. Power won't fatigue you that much. We'll start with it. Strength will fatigue you a little bit, but if you start with it, you won't be able to move at 90 to 100% if you do your power movements second. So this is the framework. You can use it with every single exercise. If you guys want me to structure a workout using this structure, using these principles, let me know down in the comments. I'll happily do a video about that. And if you have more video ideas, drop them down as well. Hope you found the video useful. If that's the case, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Subscribe to my newsletter. It will be linked down below in the description. And other than that, I don't know, I love you.